Yeah, she's working out frustration. Actually, if I went in there, it would make it worse.
Um, I don't know which new parent needs to hear this. Uh, and I know your parents, they have told you most likely the contrary. Okay. Because I've been there. I've been there. So I just want to let you know, letting your toddlers, your babies, your literal infants, your fucking newborns cry themselves to sleep because they are figuring out frustration is abuse. I know. I know. From strengthens the lungs to they have to learn to soothe themselves to they will cry themselves to sleep to they will get used to it. We've had it all. Okay. We've had it all, but let's just be fucking for real. We can do better now. Okay. We don't need to do what our parents, grandparents, and anybody in our bloodline ever did just because they did it like that. And before you come and tell me how I'm exaggerating and this and that, first and foremost, fuck you. That's point one. Point two is how the entire fuck do you expect a literal toddler, a newborn, because some of y'all do that once these kids are out the womb, okay, to soothe themselves? With which social capacity and ability do you expect these kids to soothe themselves when you, a literal adult, shit yourself when you watch a fucking horror movie and then need emotional support to fall asleep? Shouldn't you be soothing yourself? You chose to watch the horror movie, didn't you? You see how that logic doesn't make no fucking sense? Because which social skills do you expect your baby to have that they could be in any shape or form able to soothe themselves? Do you know what it means to soothe yourself? It means you have the ability to regulate your own nervous system, which then leads to the fact that your brain calms down and realizes that the situation is not all that bad, okay? And then calms down and is then able to see the situation for what it is, maybe just a trigger or whatever the case may be. So, how exactly do you expect a fucking newborn, a toddler, an infant to do that? Y'all stress me the fuck out, honestly speaking. And then the people that be like, oh, they have to learn to fall asleep. Yeah, yeah, but not by crying themselves to sleep. There is something a child is born with, and that's an unconditional trust in their parents. And if that trust is being shaken already at such an early age, it does something to the brain. And all of you instant acceleration pieces of trash, there's scientific study to that. There is research and proof to prove that there is things like birth trauma. These things exist and they do something to the chemistry of the brain. It's not just about the fact that a child cries and it sleeps. It does something to the chemistry of the brain. It's actually not that fucking hard to understand, you know? Because, and also, oh my fucking God. Do you know these people that be like, they just cry for no reason? I'm going to bust your bubble, okay? No child, no child under the earth of on this fucking planet, okay, under the sun, cries for no reason. Not a single one. What you want to say is, my child has a reason for crying, but that reason is invalid to me. That's why I don't soothe them. I fixed it for you. That's neglect, right? I'm just saying, it's what it is. And I know these are really big words: neglect, abuse. I get it. And most of you, I want to assume that you don't actually intend to harm your children. You just don't know better. At least that's what it was with me. I didn't know better. So I was listening to people that told me, he just has to figure it out. He has to learn to sleep. He has to cry himself to sleep. The lungs have to develop and shit like that. None of this is true. Not a single one of this is true. Okay? Your child doesn't need to cry. Let's remember what a child, when they cry themselves to sleep, looks like. they're red. They seize breath. Some of them get blue lips. Okay. These children are in distress, in extreme levels of distress. They need comfort. They need the warmth of your body, your heartbeat, your breath, the fluffiness of your body, whatever the case may be. They need your presence, and they will automatically calm down. Most of the children that are cry babies, or that are children, that cry themselves to sleep, or that constantly cry, wouldn't do so if you kept these children close to you. I know that sounds so fucking superficial, but it is really, really not that hard. Because children were never meant, or humans generally, were never meant to be on our own. We were never meant to be detached from our parents at early age. We were literally not. So by detaching these kids from you, every sense of self that developed, the little they have, in a toddler or a newborn, was formed in your womb, under your heart, with your breathing, your movement, your heartbeat as a constant music in their being. So when they grow and when they develop a sense of self, their organs start forming. That heartbeat, that warmth, that body, that water around them, the warmth of your body surrounded them. And all of a sudden, from one day to another, they are born. There is a new world. There's no more water. There's no more heartbeat. There's no more warmth. All of a sudden, your body has to function. These things are biological steps that need to be guided. And sometimes it takes months. I'm not making this shit up. That's science. That's fucking facts. You can read that up if you aren't that fucking ignorant. I know how fucking stressful the newborn stage is, okay? Went through that 3 good times. And 2 of our kids, and I would say the third one too, if we gave him the chance, but we never did because we listened to the wrong advices. These children literally lived on our bodies for the first 3 months. My second born child, I cannot drop him. I can't. The first 3 months of his life, he cannot be dropped. He will not lie down somewhere if he's not without me. If I'm not there, if his dad is not there, he will not lie down, he will not stay calm, he will cry immediately. Immediately. He needed that more than any other child I ever gave birth to. And he had it. I bought a wrap, I wrapped him around my chest the first few months, on my back the next few months, and he was good. I never had a single problem with that child. He grew, he started walking at 11 months. And once I figured it out, and I was like, this is what he needs. He needs to be close because no child is the same. And the brain chemistry works according to their growing up and the way they are being raised and the way they are being taken care of. The more calmness you offer to your children, the more calmly the brain can develop. That's just 1 and 1 is 2. Is that simple? So no. Your toddler, your infant, your newborn does not need to learn to sleep. They do not need to cry themselves to sleep for no biological reason whatsoever, other than the fact that you do not want to be carrying them 24/7, which respectfully, I absolutely understand that you can be overstimulated. And that's also, I blame society for that, because we are not being taught that the first 3 months of your child's life, sometimes more, sometimes less, your body does not belong to you. And I'm fucking sorry to break that to you, but it doesn't. Your child needs you 25/8. And it's draining. It's draining. It hurts. It makes you lose yourself. But I promise it gets better. I promise you it will get better. It will be fine. Your child will eventually detach from you. And that happens earlier than you wish. My second child, my last born, she turned 6 now. And she's gradually weaning off the fact that she sleeps with me in the night. And it hurts. It hurts. I'm not even joking. So I wish I could drag that a little longer. I wish I could slow down time, but I can't. So I am begging you. Remove the pressure. Inhale the moment. Seize the moment. They pass way too fast. And if you, for whatever reason, have no one to talk to, I'm not a professional. I'm just a mother. But I will gladly listen to you. I will hear you out. Maybe it helps. Maybe it doesn't. But at least we've cried together. So you got this. You can do it.